Rehan buys the book 48 Laws of Power from Amazon. He's so gassed to learn about power and influence. He starts reading this book religiously, and he comes across law number 2, which says don't trust your friends, and law number 7, which says get others to do the work for you and take all the credit for yourself. Doesn't he know that these concepts go completely against Islam? Then there's Suleiman, who still reads self-help books like The Laws of Human Nature and Atomic Habits, but he also reads the Quran, the translation, and he understands core Islamic concepts such as Tawheed, Rizq and Qadr. So when he finds a concept in a self-help book that goes completely against Islam, then he's able to reject that idea and he isn't influenced by it at all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I remember when I was 19 and I just found out about self-improvement and self-help books and all that on YouTube. So straight away I bought books like 48 Laws of Power, Atomic Habits and Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And I wasn't practicing at the time and I wasn't seeking any Islamic knowledge. As I was reading these books, I kept hearing these concepts like, oh, just do good and then the universe will give back to you. Oh, just put your thoughts in the electromagnetic field and good will come back to you. And things like, oh, you're the creator of your own universe. You're the curator of your own destiny. You are in charge of whatever happens. Bro, these concepts are straight up shirk, bro. And they go completely against what Islam says. But at the time, I didn't understand that. I was ignorant. I was stupid. As I continued reading these books and reading, as months go by, I feel myself getting further away from Allah, getting further away from my Lord. And yeah, these books helped me to improve like specific things like my productivity, my habits, or like specific problems that I had. But I wasn't content and I felt almost more purposeless than I did before. Imagine this was you. You're trying to read books about how to improve your life, but you just end up feeling more purposeless and less content than you were before. And then it's only when I started taking Islam seriously, when I started learning more about religion, that I clocked why these books weren't serving me the way I wanted. Look, in my opinion, the biggest issue with self-help books for Muslims who are reading these kind of books is that some of these concepts go completely against Islam, bro. They have chapters of straight up shirk, and they go against the idea of qadr, they go against the idea of having taqwa. Like in the book Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, it talks about this quantum field and how if you put your thoughts in there, the good will come back to you. The way I'm saying it sounds stupid, but the book is actually decent. But these concepts like this that obviously go completely against Islam. And even like if you read the 48 Laws of Power, again, some of these laws go completely against Islam. It says take all the credit for yourself. When in Islam, all the credit goes to Allah. It goes to our Creator, not us. We should never take credit for our own selves. It should always be that it is Allah who gave that to us. And if something goes wrong in your life, they dismiss it to your fault or someone else's fault completely. When that's not true, because we have this concept of qadr, and qadr is the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is one of the 6 articles of Iman, 6 articles of faith. It's so important that we know about these concepts. We have the Quran and the Sunnah. We have the best role model that we could ask for, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace upon him, and the Prophets and the Sahaba, the Tabi'een and the Tabi'een. There's so many people we can look up to. We don't need to always look up to these kind of books, these kind of people. But I understand that their kind of material is easy to access. But you also have to understand that when they're writing these books, they're only thinking about the physical, material world. They only think about the means, just the means, purely the means. When in Islam, we need to have tawakkul, trust in Allah first, then do the means. These lot have no concept of spirituality. Their spirituality is yoga, stretching their legs for a bit, doing some pose, I don't know what they're doing. That's the idea of spirituality. When in Islam, this is not idea of spirituality in Islam. And they make everything into a power game as well. And it's all about the individual, it's all about me. I'm not going to worry about next man. I'm not going to care about next man. It's all about me. When in Islam, this is not the case, bro. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the ummah is like one body. If one part of the body is hurt, then the whole body feels that pain. The importance of the Jama'at is so heavily emphasized in Islam. Look at the 5 pillars of Islam. Apart from the Shahada, the Salat, the Hajj, the Zakat, the fasting, these other 4 pillars, they involve other people. The Salah as well, because men are told where to pray. They're told to heavily pray in the masjid. All the other 4 pillars involve someone else. Hajj you do together. Zakat you give to others. Fasting is done together. Is encouraged to be with your family. Have suhoor together, have iftar together. These kind of things we are told to be together in the Jama'at. And if you're a Muslim who's reading these kind of books, I just want to ask you the same question that I asked myself a couple of years back. Why are you so dedicated to learning this kind of knowledge? but you're not taking the time out to learn about your own deen, to learn about true ilm, true knowledge, real knowledge that will benefit you fully in the hereafter. Where are your priorities? Just ask yourself that. But look, I'm not saying these books are completely bad, they're completely haram, you shouldn't read them all. No, quite the contrary, that's not the case. I learned a great deal from these books. I learned a huge deal from these books. Like the book Atomic Habits, it really helped me to get my habits in order, get my life in order, helped me to break certain bad habits that I was doing, helped me to build better habits. These books are actually very beneficial. And some of these books here, when you're reading them, like they're so close to Islam, they're missing these key concepts, they're missing something there. They're so close to Islam, may Allah guide them. But a lot of these self-help books and the self-help industry in general, they're a few steps away from Islam. Everything they're saying, it aligns with Islam mostly. But they're just missing a couple things there. May Allah guide them, inshallah. Like as Muslims, we have it perfect. Our deen encompasses all, from washing our backside to foreign policy. We have it all, it completes all, it covers all. And our book, the Quran, is a book of guidance. It's a book of guidance for those who need to be guided, and we all need to be guided. If you want true guidance, read the Quran, read the translation, read the tafsir, ponder upon the tafsir. Just based on my experience, if you're someone who's reading these self-help books, I would advise that you learn about your deen first. I'm not saying become a full student, knowledge, become a scholar, then read these books. Just learn about basic aqeedah, learn about tawheed, learn about rizq, learn about qadr. These are basic concepts to grasp. They're not hard. Anybody can learn these. Just learn about these things first. Then when you read these books, you can look at it through an Islamic lens. Because remember, these things are just the means. They are just the means. They are just the means. They don't have the trust in Allah part. Or what do we have? We have tawakkul, or we tie our camel, but we also put our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's so important to know about these Islamic concepts, because if you're not familiar with them, these books could guide you astray, wallahi. It's so vital to have just that base of knowledge, have a base of Islamic knowledge that you know of. So when a concept comes up in the book that you're reading that goes completely against Islam, you're able to reject it. You won't be influenced by it because you know that it goes against your religion, Islam. But just to conclude, in my opinion, I think these books are very much needed. I think these books are very good for specific problems like influence, like money, productivity, habits. And I think I encourage a lot of Muslims to, and I would encourage a lot of Muslims to read these books. But again, have a base of Islamic knowledge first. But these books are good. They help you in life. They really do help you. And the true goal is for you to read these books through an Islamic lens now. And the way there's any gaps there, you could just fill in the gaps with Islam. And you're able to clock concepts that go completely against Islam. That is the ideal situation. Alhamdulillah, that's where I am right now. I'm in a situation where I can read these books. And if there's shirk there, you can clock it straight away. If there's anything that goes against qadr, against rizq, you can clock it straight away. That's where you want to be, inshallah. And look, before I finish off with a quote here, I am no student of knowledge, I'm no imam, I'm no scholar, I'm no nine, I'm not giving fatwa, astaghfirullah. This is just purely my opinion. If you want to take it, take it. If you don't, then leave the video. I'm not forcing you to be here, bro. But I want to end with a quote. Ibn al-Mubarak reported, Arun bin Abdullah, may Allah be pleased with him, said, a man advised his son saying, "O my son, you must be mindful of Allah. If you are able to be better today than you were yesterday, and to be better tomorrow than you are today, then do so." This quote is just to remind us, and this video in general, that let's try and be better than we were yesterday. A 1% better every day. Just try and improve yourself. Even a small improvement, like even small improvements, because we know that the best deed to Allah is the one that is consistent, not the one that is massive, the one that is done every day. It's better for you to read one page of the Quran a day than read the whole Quran in one day and not touch it for the rest of the year. So again, just try and be consistent with what we do, inshallah. I have an email newsletter where I send any ayahs, hadiths, any insights I come across. So if you're interested in signing up for that, then the link would be in the description, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan for staying for the whole video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you benefited. And inshallah, I want to keep uploading regularly. I will see you next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.